You guys wake up. You can hear a slow tick tock like a grandfather clock out in the hallway. You can smell like the Lysol, a little bit of dust in the air. It's kind of the old but clean type smell. And everybody's laying naked in a bed. Fortunately, it's different beds. You're by yourself, naked in a bed. You can see sunlight filtering through the window curtains. And give me a smell roll. Smell roll.
Smell. Just give me a second. I got to figure out where it's at.
It's underneath spot hidden. I've lumped all the see here taste shit together to try to make it easier. So cool. And yeah, you notice that the room has got a wardrobe in it that's big enough that you can like open the doors, walk in, and find a rather rapey fawn. There's also a wash basin on a high table. There's a chair that has like a 1950s suit draped over it that looks like this, and yes, it includes the hat.
Gotta have the hat.
Oh yeah, the 1950s. That's fucking huge. Um, let's see, and yeah, the tick tock out in the hallway. You're not quite sure how you got here or why you're here or who put you to bed naked. Now, something that you guys all notice is that you feel as though your buddies are close by. In fact, you can feel the general direction that they're in, and they're the kind of buddies that you've saved each other's life numerous times over like a military campaign. That kind of closeness, closer than family, closer than spouses. That kind of like, of course, I'll do anything for them. They've saved my life so many times. How could I not? And you've returned the favor and shit. The only problem is you don't really know who they are. You just know that they're in those directions. You don't know how you know this. You don't know why you know this, but you do.
Are there any mysterious notes laying around?
Mysterious what?
Mysterious notes.
Not that I am aware of. Are you looking in the Roll20 stuff?
Yeah.
I don't recommend that at this time.
Well, yeah. I'm going to check the suit and see if there's anything in its pockets.
There is something in its pockets, actually. You discover that there are, oddly, 2 different tarot cards in its pockets, including the King of Swords and, unfortunately, the Ten of Swords. And here's what those look like. You have no clue what the fuck that's all about.
Okay.
Give me an occult roll, Jeff.
All right.
By the way, Freddie, you might fumble. Yes, this means that you are going to die very soon. There's going to be a man with a big sword, and he's going to come and stick that and 9 other ones into your back. Pretty sure that's what that means.
Or my front.
By the way,
no, it's my back. I see the picture. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Freddie, can you
now that's impressive. I rolled actual 100. Very nice.
Good first roll. Sets up the rest of your character's life. Freddie, can you show Jeff how to change the name to his character's name in the thing instead of saying?
On the top right where it says My Settings, the little cogwheel thing, click on that, scroll down just a little, and where it says Display Name, change it to whatever your character's name is, and then say name.
I haven't decided on a character name yet. I suppose I should come up with one, huh?
I mean, you probably should.
Yeah. I guess AU is going to work for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could have no name. Then we'll have two of you.
Oh, give me a second and I'll come up with it. And when I do, I'll save it. And so anyway, continue on. I'm going to check out the closet. The wardrobe.
In the wardrobe, there's nothing in your wardrobe. There is tepid water in the basin and like a little cloth for, cleaning up and stuff like that. There's no toilet in here, which is concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I guess I'll clean up and get dressed.
Done.
I don't know about everybody else, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same as that guy.
Great. You guys clean up, get dressed. You hear an odd clip-clopping noise. It sounds like somebody has let a fucking horse or something loose in here.
I also checked my pockets, incidentally.
I don't believe you have anything in your pockets currently.
Oh, he's been here before.
Uh-huh. Well, you ended off last session here.
Oh, man.
And he got tarot cards at that time.
Cool.
And my gun broke.
Yes. In the wardrobe, you do find your broke-ass gun, which can't be fixed, and your gear that you ended off last session with. It's all neatly piled in the wardrobe. And you hear this weird clip-clopping, and then you hear a very low murr.
Is there a window?
Yes. You look outside, you see just normal town stuff going on, same town you were in the other day. Don't see any livestock. Very odd. And then you hear a clip clopping up to your door, followed by a low murr.
All right, well, guess I'll open the door and have a look at the Minotaur.
You see a guy dressed in, Jeff, this will eventually happen to you as well, I'm sure, as he comes to collect you guys. You guys see a guy who's dressed in a helmet that looks like this, wearing shoes that look like that, and then Kerboli armor that has this pattern on it.
Moo, 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 moo.
Oh, great. We found the secret cow level.
You know about it?
Now, Jeff and Marcus, give me empathy rolls.
Bet.
Jeff, you think that he's sincere, and Will thinks that he has actually been there before and has a bit of a haunted look in his eyes about the secret cow level.
By the way, don't forget to put a check.
Yeah.
To the skill.
Oh, the little box next to the skill. If you succeed in rolling a skill, Jeff, and this is your first, gets a little tick mark in it. And if you don't do that, when you succeed in a skill, you can only get the one tick. But if you don't do it when you succeed in a skill, at the end of the session, you'll be really pissed at yourself.
Okay, so put a check mark in empathy. Got it. Just done.
Yes.
Cool.
But I mean, seriously, that's your big thing to try to remember today, because otherwise you will hate yourself.
Don't worry, I'll remind them.
Oh, that'll be easy. I played a tabletop version of skill-based system, and at the end of the session, you ended up having to roll dice for every single skill that you used
That's
multiple
literally
times.
what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have met your
By hand
first.
was hard.
Pardon?
I said doing it by hand was hard.
Yeah. You guys have apparently met your first cowboy.
Hello? My name's
Hi there.
My name's Aeolus, but everyone calls me Freddy. Who are you?
Now's your big time, Jeff.
I'm Mr. Wallace.
Mr. Wallace, nice to meet you. By the way,
Nice to meet you.
one thing Logan forgot to mention, I have a hook for a hand.
Yeah, there is that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I won't shake your hand then.
Yeah, big fucking Captain Hook type looking hook. Yeah.
You want the easy one or the hard one?
I'll take the hard one.
Whoosh.
Please, nice to meet you. My name is Freddy Firestarter. That's not my real name, but everyone calls me that because of reasons. I don't actually remember seeing you before. Are you I look between the two of them. Are you new to this everything?
Yeah, you can call me new. I have no idea how to get out of this place, I'll tell you that.
I don't even know where I am.
Oh,
That's on
wonderful.
New Land.
All right. Well, rather than me trying to explain to you everything here in the hallway, let's go get some breakfast downstairs, and I'll try and ease you
That's
into
what I was
this
worried
thing.
about when I heard the cow in the hallway. I thought that we had to kill it and cook our own breakfast. But looks like that's not the case.
His armor's what's making the noise. You're pretty
Look, don't mind the armor; it has its own little personality sometimes. Yeah.
Bacon, and eggs, and juice sounds good.
Yes, that's it. How did you know? Are you sure you're new?
I dropped in here last night.
Oh, so you're not that new. Right.
No, I am that new, but that's okay. Let's see what's for breakfast.
Okay,
Now,
let's go downstairs.
Before you get too far downstairs, something you do notice that is approximately on the map, it's around here. Can you guys see the green arrow pointing at it?
Yep.
Right about there, it looks like somebody has assembled a very tall grandfather-looking clock made out of smoke. Like thick fucking smoke, like those vape assholes that like to make the big clouds, but kind of condensed in, and it's just kind of floating around. And according to the smoke on that, it's a few minutes after 9.
Yeah, Freddy. If you're watching Freddy, it walks by it like it's not even there. It doesn't even notice it.
That is one weird looking clock.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy stops, turns around. Oh, that. Yeah. That's a magical clock that controls time and look. It's a bit complicated. Try not to mess with it too much, because it might go bad. Look, I'll explain everything after breakfast. Or at least try to. Oh boy.
Alrighty. I don't see the stairs, but I presume they exist.
Yes.
So I'll head down them.
You guys clip-clop down the stairs. Well, one of you does. And
I'm not clopping, am I?
no, you're walking normal. You two are walking normally, but apparently the other guys learned to walk in high cow heels.
They are very comfortable, thank you.
You guys go down there and you see the host and hostess who look like in the picture there, and they're like, "Good morning, happy Friday," says the lady.
Yeah. Breakfast, please.
Certainly. She says,
morning.
"Are you hungry?"
Yes.
No, I'm Freddy.
We have eggs, bacon, toast, juice, coffee, and a big glass of milk. Yeah. They take you over and they have it all in chafing dishes and stuff, and her and her husband set it out for you. It's self-serve. Just take whatever you'd like to eat.
I'll just grab everything.
Right. He hoards all the chafing dishes just for himself, leaving you guys with no food.
Oh no, I'll leave 2 for them.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. You guys eat it's a good, wholesome, filling breakfast. And the guy goes, "Tonight is meatloaf night. Friday night is always meatloaf night."
That's good. You never want to let your meatloaf.
He looks confused. "Will you be staying tonight?" says the lady as well.
Yeah,
All
probably.
right.
Freddy has 1,000-yard stare, by the way, this entire time.
Yeah, he looks like he's just gotten back from the Vietnam War and is having trouble adjusting.
All right, after I'm done eating, I'm gonna put away all the dishes and everything back where they were, and turn to the other 2 and say, "Right,
Those 2 are still in this room.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I will
Come
thank
with-
them for a good breakfast.
Certainly. By the way, if you need to make any purchases, just have them billed here, and then you can settle up all at once.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Follow me,
Okay.
by the way. And I take them to the drawing room.
He clops your asses over to room B on the downstairs map, which is the drawing room.
All right, have a seat, and I'm gonna. Do you drink at all? What's your poison? Yes, I know it's morning, but trust me, you'll need it. You'll need it.
Great.
And so that's how your alcoholism problems began.
All right, brandy for you, whiskey for you. I'll be back in a minute. I'll go to the bar, grab a bottle.
You hear him clip-clop off, and you hear, oh, the bar's not open yet. And you're like, you hear, moo, and then clip-clops back, and he's got a couple of bottles and stuff. The bar's not open yet, sir.
I close the door behind me. Pour them each a drink.
He's not a good guest, is what you're thinking.
All right, look. First of all, what is the last thing that the two of you remember before waking up in this place?
Waking up in this place.
Well, before that. Before you... What is your normal life like?
I used to work security and private investigation on a contract basis.
Right. And
then suddenly I was apparently somebody else for a while. And we had some interesting exploits with a couple of comrades. And then things seemed to go somewhat off the rails. And we ended up here.
Oh, that was a rough first day for you then. I don't envy you waking up in someone else's body. What year are you from? Yes, I know that's a strange question.
Nothing, no, not really. Not now. 2020.
I turn to Mr. Wallace. And you?
Well, I used to repair older electronic things, video games, pinball machines, and taught martial arts in the evening.
Oh. And what year are you from? Oh, 2020.
Yeah, I'm also from 2020.
All right. Well, since you're both, from what I can tell, based on your backgrounds, fairly accustomed to technology at least, this may not seem too wild of a stretch, but you are in a simulation right now. Everything around you is a very, very complex computer simulation that's been made by a powerful artificial intelligence for reasons we're not entirely sure of yet. But we've been put here for a reason, given the ability to explore various, how should I put it, sections of the simulation, each with their own rules and identities. And the one we're in right now is called Burlington 2.0. And the unique thing about this zone is that every day at 6 a.m., the zone resets and everything goes back to normal the way it was when you just woke up. Nobody will remember anything, all of the stuff that you moved or destroyed, or anything like that goes back to normal in this zone. You with me so far? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, a couple questions on that.
Yeah, please.
It sounds like we're never going to have to pay the bill.
Pretty much, yes.
Right to the important part.
And if I buy something here, does that then go away at 6 a.m.?
Very good question, sir. Yes, unless you take that thing and you leave the zone with it, hence breaking the loop. Then you get to keep it.
Got it.
Right. Now,
One
yes.
more question.
Yes, please.
Gun shop?
Gun shop, not exactly. There is a police station, and if you're daring enough, you can maybe grab a gun from an officer when he's not looking. The people here, imagine a 1950s kind of a sitcom. They're not entirely with it all the time, if you catch my drift.
Is
They're
Jackie Gleason here?
not that I know of.
Is it
Okay,
what?
just checking. I just asked if Jackie Gleason was here.
Oh,
But yes, if you want a pistol, you could potentially grab one from the police station and, well, hopefully you don't get shot in the process. But aside from that, there is a bit more to this particular zone in that there's more than one layer to it. This is the 1950s layer. The next layer is an Old West layer, where everything is pretty much laid out the same, but with an Old West skin attached to it. And things are a little bit different, obviously, but yeah.
Oh. Do they have a gun store?
They have a very, very good gun store. Yes. Old West, so 6-shooters and stuff, but still. Now, there is actually one thing that I would like to do with the two of you while we're here. But before we get to that, we have already explored somewhat relatively well this zone. But every time we go and look, we always find something new that we've either missed or just not bothered to check. So I would like the two of you, with a fresh perspective on everything, to just take a moment and have a look for yourselves around the area and see if you don't happen to find something that one of us has missed. Then after you're done with that, I'll have a rather potentially dangerous, life-threatening proposition to give both of you, if you're up for it. Do either of you know anything or heard stories about the pattern?
Yeah, the couple of guys that I was with before said that they broke it and were no longer welcome.
I wouldn't go so far as to say we're no longer welcome, but we did kind of break it. Kind of. Did they tell you what it was?
One of them talked about this guy named Zelazny, and I'd really like to get my hands on this Zelazny punk and interrogate him about that pattern.
Actually, we retconned that out because he was not supposed to know about the Zelazny stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
No worries.
Yes, but you can still interrogate that punk if you find him.
Well, do you know what the pattern is then?
Not really, no.
Well, the easiest way is to put it, it's like a powerful entity of order. It's kind of like a maze that you can walk across. And if you succeed in doing so, you will become infused with the power of order, the power of pattern. And that will grant you access to certain abilities and powers that you may not normally have under normal circumstances. But the downside is that it's very dangerous. If you walk it and don't make it, you will die permanently.
Oh, that's a much clearer explanation than my other two comrades gave of it.
I shudder to think what they told you.
I really couldn't even repeat it because it made no sense. But they said something about powers.
Okay, well, I hope maybe I cleared it up for you. Now, how strong physically would you say both of you are? Like, can you handle yourselves?
I'm physically fit. I work out all the time.
Okay.
It is plain from my description that I am quite athletic.
Oh, of course, yes, military background. Why did I even ask? And what about endurance? Are you able to go for long periods of time?
That's what she said.
Yes, that is what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah? And what about your sheer force of will? Is that any good? Are you any good at
It's as good as my sanity.
Yeah,
you
well,
do seem pretty stable, so.
I would think my wills should be fairly forceful because I do meditate. So.
Oh, you'll be surprised how often that comes up, actually. I'm glad you are able to meditate.
That comes with martial arts training.
Maybe one day you're not going to have a sparring match.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I don't want to really force the pattern upon the two of you. It's a decision that you need to make in your own time when you're ready. I've seen people literally appear, get pushed onto the pattern, and come out just fine. But they were lucky. So if you want to do it, I can take you there and you can walk the pattern. Or you can wait until you become a little bit more strong and then do it. The only downside is the longer you wait, the harder it will be for you to traverse the zones and shadows of the multiverse, because the normal / safe means of travel currently is a bit wonky, and we don't have the means to fix it yet. So I can take you around because I have that ability, but I'm just letting you know that for future cases, having the pattern will help a lot. But I don't want to force it upon you. So have a think about it, and if you want to go and take a look at the zone we're in right now, see if there's anything that I missed or my companions, I would appreciate it a lot.
Now, if we find things here, can we take them from here into the pattern?
Yes.
Okay, so we should look around a little bit, see if there's anything useful.
Now, nothing that you take will actually help you with the pattern. It's just you and the pattern. No gizmo is gonna make it easier for you. But yes, you can take things out of here.
Sounds like I have a comrade who has an interest in the pattern.
An interest, yes. That is what I have.
Okay, so are there any mysterious notes laying around in this room?
Oh, in this room? No, but we do have another zone where there's literally just a pile of notes left for us to take care of. I can show them to you. I have a copy of them if you want to have a look at them, but that's a whole different area, so to speak.
And yeah, is it the Wild West Burlington?
No, it's another zone entirely. It's called Beastkin, and everyone there has an animal head. That's kind of the zone. It's an Old West tech area, and all of the humans there, for reasons I'm not entirely certain of, are called Australians.
Alrighty.
Yes. But that's a completely different zone. I can take you there if you want to have a look at it.
You go to the bar, you get Foster's.
Speaking of bar, well, not bar, barbershop, the normal means of transportation is through a barbershop called Clem's. Normally, what you do is you walk into Clem's, you ask for a hot towel and a shave, and then you tell him where you want to go. He puts the towel over your head. You sit down in the chair, then he puts the towel over your head, and then you're transported to the Clem's of the other zone that you asked to go to. Unfortunately, due to our own incompetency, we kind of fucked up Clem's, and it's currently taking you to random places. So it's not a reliable means of transportation right now. Hence why I said walking the pattern will make things a little bit easier, but with me around, I can still take you around even if you haven't walked the pattern. I have the means to do that.
Oh, that sounds great. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go check out Burlington here and see what strikes me as new or interesting.
Yes, please. The two of you consider me as a repository of possibly useless but possibly not information. If there's anything you don't know or have questions about, just ask, and I'll try and fill you in on it. But I want to see if you can find something that maybe we missed while we were in Burlington. So
Okay,
please
so
take it
it's
away.
called Burlington. Okay.
Oh, hold on, I have cards.
Yeah, I gave some extra cards for what seems to be. Oh, Marcus, reduce your hand by one. Oh, Jeff, if you ever notice you have more than 4 cards, first thing you always do is look for reds, because reds got to be played immediately. The reds are all play immediately cards, like the antique greed that was just played. So if anybody has any greed cards, which I don't think you do, like clogging greed or something like that, then they have to go away. But and then you have to reduce your hand down to 4. 4 is the most cards you can have. And then after you've reduced your hand, if you have anything you want to play, then you can play them. But I gave Freddie some extra cards for what seems to be the most coherent briefing I've heard in a long time for new players. Usually it sounds like
I understand things. So
yeah. Usually it sounds like a crack addict who needs a fix.
I've had a lot of practice.
Yes. Although in the past you have sounded like a crack addict.
Hence practice.
Mr. Wallace, would you care to accompany me on a little walk around town?
Absolutely. Let's have a look, see what this place looks like.
No problem. I'm sure that Freddie's going to be following behind you guys to keep an eye on
I'm
you.
looking forward to walking outside so I can put on this nice hat.
Mm-hmm. That's true. To make things a little quicker and easier, you're currently on the main street. Freddie, if you want to show them your bubble map to help them to...
Yes, I will show them the bubble map.
I do a lot of bubble maps because regular maps are cool and all, but there's usually a lot of dead area in there. And a bubble map, unless it's like a link area, everything there has at least something to go see. Plus, drawing regular maps takes way too much time away from me, evilly plotting and shit.
All right, there you are. There's a map Freddie produces. You notice that Freddie has a little bracelet on his wrist. He taps it a couple times and a holographic image of a map appears on the screen. And he says, I'll get the two of you one of these before we're done with everything. I won't forget. Okay? These are communication bracelets. They allow you to communicate with other people even when they're not around. So I'll get the two of you one of these. Don't worry. But here's the map of this place.
The bracelet he's wearing appears to be like a kind of a metallic color, really plain. It's kind of odd that you didn't notice it before. Well, maybe not so much on him as he's dressed fairly outrageously. But, it's a pretty low-key piece of jewelry. Doesn't have any obvious buttons or anything like that on it.
Oh, don't look in my nostrils.
Okay.
5 focals. I have to turn my head to be able to see.
I fucking hate the thought. I own multiple pairs of glasses. These are my reading glasses. I also have further seeing glasses and then sunglasses. I have to go 3 different
By the way, you
pairs.
can click on the map to zoom it in a little bit, if that
Mhm.
helps. I don't know.
Have any luck with that?
No? Oh, okay.
A&W. What's the name of the hotel here?
Bed and
Bed and
breakfast.
breakfast.
Bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You can just zoom in the browser if it helps.
No, I couldn't do that either.
Really?
Windows 2 had some things that was holding it back, Freddie.
All right. Well, where would you like to look first?
Well,
I'm
there's a
still
lot.
where you are here.
Oh, sorry. You are in the bed and breakfast on Main Street.
Yeah, but I haven't located it on the map.
It's in the same thing as A&W root beer. It's in that
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
No.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact,
Oh,
all
a lot of things in
those things, all those businesses, and I put up another copy, which may be easier to read, just what's on Main Street: Apex Industries, A&W Root Beer Bank, et cetera, et cetera. All that stuff is here on Main Street, and any businesses you want to go into and stuff, you're free. There's a lot of exploration that can go on in this, depending on what the players want to do, because sometimes the players don't want to explore. They have no interest in exploring. Why? I don't know, but they don't. Sometimes they do, but
Sometimes we think we've explored everything, but we haven't.
right. That's the part that makes me giggle the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like to explore, so
Mm.
There's plenty to fucking see in this worlds.
And this is
Multiple.
only one tiny little area of it. So
Oh, Mr. Wallace, are you armed?
no. Not that I really care to be. I don't really. I know how to use guns, but I really don't like them.
They're very, very useful for injuring people at range. And I generally find that to be a very handy capability. I would like for us to stop by the police department and see if we can acquire some, at least for me, a handgun.
Hmm?
Are we good with that?
Yeah, let's go have a look.
Okay. You guys all go strolling out of the bed and breakfast with Freddie following you and down Main Street over to the police department. It doesn't look like a very large police department, although it does look like a surprisingly secure building. The police department itself, when you go in, they've got like the main area that's got like several doors off of it, which are labeled, but not in anything comprehensible, just weird squiggles and stuff that make no sense and don't seem to be any kind of language. And you can see a sheriff and deputy are in there. And they're like, hello, happy Friday. By the way,
Happy Friday.
on the Main Street, there's lots of cars and stuff. Actually, let me show you some pictures of Main Street just to let you know what this town kind of looks like a little bit here. The cops look a lot like the Andy Griffith type, except they're armed. Here it is. Boom. Now, the town itself kind of looks like this kind of feel to it, but don't look for the individual businesses in that exact picture because, of course, I couldn't find one that matched what I'd come up with.
Got the idea, though. Small town America.
Exactly. And as you've noticed off the map, there's a lot of other stuff around. Like in the distance, you can see tract homes and things like that. So when you go to different areas, I will show you different stuff. But yeah, the cops, they look like just normal people, and they're sitting in different desks, and don't know what the fuck they were doing before you came in, but they look at you attentively now. They do have pistols in holsters and such. They don't appear to be anything special or fancy, you know, talking 6-shooter type pistols, because that's what you're interested in getting. But they don't seem to be handing them out here.
Well, I haven't started my fast talk.
Uh-huh.
So the sheriff is accessible to me?
You mean, can you reach out and punch him or grab him? Yes.
Well, I offer my hand. To
Oh,
shake
he comes over and shakes your hand. He's like, you want a cup of coffee?
I'd love a cup of coffee, sir.
And you?
No, thank you.
And you?
A cup of tea if you have some.
Coffee it is, he says. He goes over and pours 4 cups of coffee and passes them out.
Thanks.
Marvelous.
He sits back down at his desk and he says, how can I help you? Staying at the bed and breakfast?
I am indeed.
All right.
Yes, we are.
I had this problem yesterday. I looked at my firearm and found it to be busted.
Oh,
And
yeah, civilians aren't allowed to have guns here, so that's all right.
I was not aware of that.
Not a problem. Can I have your broken firearm?
I'll be happy to bring it by, but
Okay.
I'm gonna when I leave this area, I would like to be armed with a functional piece. I was wondering if we could make some sort of arrangement to that effect.
He looks at you blankly as though you've just broken into your best ancient Greek.
Would a fast talk roll be at all useful here?
You'd have to actually do it. He's looking at you with total lack of comprehension. He's like, you guys like fishing? If you do, you should go over to the store at the wharf, and it's called the Master Baiter. You can pick up bait and stuff there, and then go over to the lake, catch you some fish.
So you would be okay with loaning me your handgun when I'm on my way out?
Oh no, civilians aren't allowed to have guns.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for the coffee. This has been really wonderful.
Certainly.
What kind of fish do you have in your lake?
Oh, just the usual sorts, he says.
Fishy fish.
That's right. He seems pleased with this answer.
Bluegill, sunfish, perch,
That sounds
Shark.
right.
piranha.
Mm-hmm. He nods happily.
Gotcha.
I'm not really a
Alrighty.
fish expert myself.
Okie dokie. Well, I think I'll see about bringing that busted firearm to you, sir.
Oh yeah, that. He nods.
Look, is there any jail cells in here that we can see?
There are 3 jail cells. They're down a short hallway,
One for each of it? Oh, that doesn't sound good.
right?
So how's business? You got any prisoners?
Oh no, everybody here is very law-abiding, he says.
Oh, you must have a boring job then.
My
Not necessarily a
goodness.
bad thing.
Well, happy Friday. Happy Friday, says the deputy.
I hate all of you.
Friday.
They just nod happily and sip their coffee.
Okay. Is this coffee in like an actual ceramic mug that they lent me, or is it?
Ceramic mugs.
Yeah. Oh, that fits the time frame. All right. Well, more coffee is always good in my book, so I'll chug mine on down.
Mm-hmm.
I take the mug with me.
Nobody says a fucking word. They just wave.
President.
Great. Just what we need. We have a mugger in the party.
Oh, take a card, Jeff.
Hey.
Now, to take a card, if you go over to, actually hit the DR1 button once.
Okay.
I'll flip you back to the page. Yeah. Now, just so you know, unlike in other game systems, since this is a talkie type game, you actually have to talkie to get the fast talk. If we were playing like SCA and everybody was sword fighting and shit, I wouldn't ask for sword fighting rolls until you'd made your sword fighting skill. But fortunately for all of us, we're not.
All right, I have to discard one now, correct? Since I have 5?
Yes.
All right, let's see. What should I get rid of?
I would ask Freddie until you get comfortable with the cards, because sometimes it's not obvious.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have 3 choices out of the 5 cards to discard. One of them is nada, absolutely nothing.
That's a good choice right there. I think that should just go with that.
Well, what are the other choices?
Oh.
I've also got memory, but since I don't have anything to be of memory, that won't do me a whole lot of good either.
Well, the thing is, you can trade cards to others, so might not be useful for you, but could be for me.
Anybody have a birthday in the near future?
No, it's not my birthday.
Not mine either.
Now there is a
I got
card.
a happy birthday card.
There is a card in the deck called Special Day. So I would hold on to the birthday card just for a while. If somebody else draws a special day card, they could trade it to you, and then you could say, "It's my special day on my birthday," and then play both of them at once and get the fucking large hero point.
So I will get rid of Nada then.
Yep, I would suggest I'm going to get rid of Nada.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There
So
we go.
the police were just optionally unhelpful.
Yeah,
Freddy just sips his coffee and turns to the 2 of them with a smirk on his face.